Hello traders and welcome to my channel. Now I go by the name of Tumelo FX, and if you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe and like in the end if you enjoy this video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and thank you guys for your support. The channel is growing and it's all because of you. Now today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, that is risk management. How to manage your money like a pro. Hope you guys enjoy this short presentation that I prepared for you guys and watch till the end. So I was watching an interview on ENCA. This interview was between Given Mukari and Johan Rupert. I think it was posted on 2018. Now, Given Mukari asked Johan that what are some of the key factors behind his success? And Johan mentioned one point that we are going to dwell on this video. He said that most of the successful businessmen that he knows, including himself, are paranoid. They're always thinking about the worst case scenario. They're always thinking about whether or not they're still relevant in the market that they're operating in. They're always thinking about their competitors, whether their competitors are going to take them out or not. Even if the business is going well, there's still a chance that things will go south soon. And when things go south, you don't want to be sleeping. You want to be prepared for when shit hits the fan. And that's essentially the crux of what we're talking about today, risk. Risk is a very integral part of trading, because whether or not we have a winning strategy, you can experience a losing streak that blows your account, regardless of whether or not you're good. Now, I think we all relate. You've backtested your strategy. You've traded demo long enough. You trade a live account and 2-3 trades are winning trades. That fourth trade, that one mistake blows your entire account. The frustrations that come with that. Now, let's define risk. Risk can be defined as the chance that an outcome or investment's actual gains will differ from an expected outcome or return. So, assuming that a business is an investment, we're investing time, effort, expertise, research, and capital, whether it be money or equipment, into making sure that that business or that product that you're selling is successful. You are in business with the intention of making profit. Now, risk exists when you acknowledge that there's a possibility that after you've invested everything, whether it's expertise, capital, there's a possibility that you will not make profit from that. Now, trading is a probabilities game, right? It's like rolling a die. Now, when you roll a die, there's 6 outcomes. If you're anticipating that 5 will be your outcome, there's 1 out of 6 chances that you're right. So if you rolled your die, we assume that if you rolled your die 6 times, you're only going to be right once. Meaning there's 5 out of 6 chances that you're going to be wrong. Now, it would be very foolish of you to bet your entire amount on one outcome, which is 5, if there's 5 out of 6 chances that you're going to be wrong, right? So the ultimate goal should be for you to maximize on the gains for the times you're right and minimize the losses for the times you're wrong. Now, with trading, there's only 2 outcomes. When you're placing an order, the market can either go up or down. Now, if you anticipated the market to go up and it goes down, you don't want your account to be blown, right? It's either the market goes up and down. You can't be right all the time. And like I said, you don't want to be, or you don't want your account to be doomed for when you're wrong. And this is where risk management comes into play. Now, what is risk management? Risk management is a method that enables a trader to put in place a set of rules and measures to ensure that any negative impact from a losing trade is manageable or avoided. And we make reference to Murphy's Law, which states that anything that can go wrong will eventually go wrong. So every trader, including pro traders, are not immune to losing streaks. They're not immune to drawdowns. Now, the only difference between beginner traders and pro traders is that pro traders know how to manage their losses. They know how to manage their risk, right? In the previous video, when we talked about market makers, I did mention that one of the ways that market makers protect themselves is that they don't use leverage. They don't trade on leverage, and they always trade small. That's the difference between beginner traders and pro traders, right? You are aware that things can go your way, regardless of whether you have a winning strategy that has 90% gains. There's still a 10% chance that the trade will not go in your favor. Now, you want to account for the times when the trade goes against you, because the ultimate goal for traders isn't to win all the time. We're seeking to minimize losses and maximize gains. How do you do that? Now, there are three simple ways of limiting your losses in Forex. Number one, you use a stop loss when you're trading. Now, you use a stop loss so that when a trade goes against you, your broker can automatically close your position, right? How do you place that stop loss, or how do you decide where to place your stop loss? That's when you go to the charts, your strategy. If you're using supply and demand, you're going to place your stop loss where there is your distal line. If you're using indicators, you have to figure out how you're going to place your stop losses. You're only going to figure out where to place your stop losses if you've backtested your strategy enough, right? Number two, you only take trades that have a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio or more. Now, what am I referring to when I talk about risk to reward ratio? It's the money that you're putting in or the money that you're putting on the line versus the expected outcome, right? So the amount of risk that you're taking should be less than the reward that you're expecting, right? Meaning it will not be worth it to risk $10,000 only to get 500. In actual fact, it should be the inverse. You should be risking, like I said, we are aiming to minimize losses and maximize gains. So the ideal trade is when you risk $500 to get 10,000. So when we're talking about a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, we're talking about the distance from your entry point to your stop loss, that's your risk. And from your entry point to your take profit, that's your reward. The distance from your entry point to your take profit should be at least 3 times more than the distance between your entry point and your stop loss. And I explained further here that if you're risking 50 pips on a single trade, then you should only take the trade if it has a profit potential of 150 pips or more. Number three, you only risk a small portion of your account per trade, preferably 3 to 5% of your account. Now, this is very important if you're going to be trading a small account of $20. This is why I mentioned in my other videos that you need to save up money, enough capital, so that if you experience a losing streak, your account is not doomed. There is no possible way that if you have $20 invested in your account, you can risk 3%. What's 3% of $20? So at least if you have $500, you can do the math. What's 5% of $500, right? Meaning, if you're risking 5% of your account per trade, you need to lose 20 times in a row to blow your account. Now, if you have a strategy that works, there is no way you can lose 20 trades in a row, right? So number one, use a stop loss. Only take trades that have at least 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, and also risk a small portion of your account. Now, go a step further and calculate or decide on a maximum drawdown that you're willing to take on your account in general. So I have a rule personally. When I have a balance of $1,000, for example, if I lose more than 40% of that 1,000, I stop trading for that month, right? I'm going to backtest for at least 3 weeks to figure out what I've done wrong, to figure out where I need to work on in terms of my trading. And I'm going to give myself time to trade demo for a while, just to make sure that I'm still in the right frame of mind before I trade again. Apply this method in your trading. When you experience a maximum drawdown that you've predetermined, decide that you're going to stop trading and backtest, right? So another factor to calculating or to deciding on how much you're going to risk per trade is deciding on the lot size that you're going to use. This lot size relates to the third point. How do you decide on the lot size? You use this method over here, or you could alternatively use a risk calculator online or use my FX book. Now, what's the formula? The lot size that you're going to be using is the amount of money that you're going to be risking divided by the number of pips in brackets, number of pips times 10. So for example, if you want to risk $100, right, the amount of pips that you're willing to risk, so the distance between your stop loss and your entry point is 20 pips, right? We need to times the 20 pips by 10, it will give you 200. Now 100 divided by 200 is equals to 0.50. That's the lot size that you're going to use. Like I said, remember the amount of money that you will to risk or that you're going to risk should consist of a small portion of your account. Hope that makes sense. So that's the pro tip that I have for you today. Use a stop loss. Stop loss is very important. I know a lot of mentors say don't use a stop loss because of the strategy. That's bullshit, man. Even if you have a 90% winning ratio, there's still a 10% chance that the market will go against you. Now, you don't want that 10% to ruin your 90% of wins, right? So you must always use a stop loss. How or where are you going to place the stop loss? You can only figure it out yourself if you backtest it enough. Number two, only take the trades that offer quality or high probability trades, or the highest quality trades, trades that allow you to minimize your losses or risk more small to get big, right? Number three, only risk a small portion of your account. Part of that is by deciding on the right lot size. Now, the pip value between major pairs and minor pairs and exotic pairs are different, right? This is where I say, if you get confused, go to a risk calculator online. That's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, I wanted to keep it very short. Subscribe and like if you still haven't. Till we meet again. Thank you for watching. Peace.